My name is Paul, and I grew up in a small town called North Lake in Michigan, a place most people only knew because of an abandoned school that sat rotting at the edge of the woods. Nobody went near it, at least not at night, and the stories about it were always the same: people hearing things, seeing shapes in the windows, or feeling like they were being watched. Of course, we didn't take any of it seriously. That's why one night, me and 3 of my friends decided to break in. It was around 9:30 when we met near the back of the building. The sky completely dark except for a faint moon hidden behind clouds. The place looked worse up close, like it had been left to decay for decades. The windows dusty and the walls stained with age. For a few minutes, none of us said anything. It was quiet, too quiet. Then I picked up a rock and threw it straight through one of the windows, the sound of glass shattering, echoing louder than it should have. That was the moment everything started to feel wrong, but none of us said it out loud. We climbed inside one by one, and the air hit me immediately. It smelled old, not just abandoned, but like something had been left there too long, something that shouldn't still be there. One of my friends pulled out flashlights and suggested we split up, just to explore faster. Looking back, that was the worst decision we could have made, but at the time it felt normal. We agreed to meet back at the entrance after a few minutes, then went our separate ways. The second I was alone, the silence felt heavier. Every step echoed. Every movement sounded louder than it should have, like the building was reacting to me being there. I walked down a long hallway until I found a staircase leading down, and without really thinking about it, I followed it. The basement was colder, darker, and the air felt thick like it didn't move. At the bottom, I found a wide open room that looked like it used to be a cafeteria, and just beyond it another door. That door didn't feel right. I can't explain it properly, but something about it made me hesitate, like my body was trying to warn me before my mind could understand. I should have turned back, but I didn't. I walked up to it, grabbed the handle, and slowly pulled it open. Inside, for just a second, I saw something that didn't make sense. It looked like a person, but wrong. Pale, stretched, its mouth too wide, completely dark inside, and its body wasn't standing. It was attached to the wall by something that looked like wires, like it had been placed there. I slammed the door shut immediately and ran, my heart pounding so hard I could barely think. But the second I turned the corner into the cafeteria, I heard something else. A sound low, uneven, like breathing mixed with a broken voice. I turned my light toward it, and that's when I saw it. A tall, black shape, too thin, too long, its limbs bending in ways they shouldn't, standing in the dark like it had been waiting. It let out a noise that didn't sound human, something that made my ears ring, and then it moved. I didn't stay to see how fast. I ran back up the stairs, through the hallway, until I reached the entrance where we had left our things. One of my friends was there, just standing still, his face completely pale. I tried to ask him what happened, but he cut me off before I could even finish. He said it was my fault, that the others were gone, that something had taken them. Before I could respond, the entire building went silent. Not quiet, silent like the sound had been pulled out of the air. Then I heard it, a soft whistling, slow, uneven but familiar. It took me a second to recognize it, but when I did, my stomach dropped. It was a tune, something old, something completely out of place. The sound got closer, echoing through the hallway, and then suddenly it stopped. For a moment, nothing happened, and then something moved toward us, fast. I didn't see what it was, not clearly. I just remember the shape, twisted, unnatural, wrong in a way that didn't feel possible. My friend fell behind me, and I heard him screaming, then nothing. I didn't look back. I just kept running until I found a place to hide. I stayed there for what felt like forever, barely breathing, waiting for something to find me, but it never did. Eventually, everything went quiet again. When I finally stepped out, the building felt empty, like nothing had ever been there. But as I made my way back to the entrance, I saw something that made my chest tighten. The broken window we used to get in was completely sealed. boards nailed across it from the outside. There was no way out, and taped to the wood, there was a note. It said, "If you're still here, come down to the cafeteria. He's waiting." I don't know why I listened. Maybe I thought someone was behind it all. Maybe I just wanted answers, but I went back down. The cafeteria was empty when I entered, completely silent. For a few seconds, nothing happened, and then I saw it, just for a moment. A tall, white figure standing in the darkness, wearing something that looked like a mask. Long, pointed, almost like a beak. Its body looked wrong, like it wasn't fully there, like it didn't belong in the same space as everything else. And then it moved, not toward me, but closer without actually walking, like it was pulling itself through the air. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. And right before everything went dark, I heard something, not a sound, not a voice, but a thought that didn't feel like mine. It said, "This isn't a story.